guys, and welcome back to HR Talks with Lish. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through what a HR absence management system is and the roles and responsibilities of a HR administrator when making sure that this is up to date. So I'm going to go through what an absence management system is and the different types that you may come across on your HR journey, and also the process of inputting different absences and what that looks like. So what is an absence management system? So it's basically a system which tracks an employee's absence, and that can be any different form of absence. So we can be talking about holidays, paid leave, so volunteering days, or if someone has to go for jury service, or if there's an appointment that they have to go to and attend. There's also sick leave, which is one of the main ones, and parental leave, maternity, paternity leave. There's so many different types of leave that could be registered in an absence management system, and it's just understanding and knowing the different types of leave associated to that employee and how to input that and who needs to input that and who's got the responsibility of doing that. So absence management systems are really good for actually looking into different trends of absences. So for example, let's say that your holiday year for your company runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. Now, let's say that you can roll over holiday into the next holiday year if this is your company, and you're able to take up to 5 days by a certain time in the next holiday year, so let's say by April. Now, it's really good to understand the patterns of employees taking holiday, because we know that taking holiday is very important for an employee to do across the year, and they should be taking time away from work to either relax or work on different projects maybe that they want to work on, or just take some time away from work. So you can run reports to see if people are taking their holidays or not, and see if there's any issues around that. So if loads of people are not taking their holiday and they're just not utilizing it at all, then what you can do is you can put out communication to your employees to say, look, you need to remember that our holiday year is from the 1st of Jan to the 31st of December. It's coming to the end of the holiday year, and you can only take a certain amount of holidays into the new year, otherwise you're going to lose it. So please make sure that you take that holiday in a reasonable time. So it's good to understand the different trends and see which type of employees as well are not taking holiday, because it may be that a certain department is not taking holiday at all. So what you could do in that case is you could speak to the manager involved, because the report will show you who the management line is as well, to then understand why it is that they're not taking specific holiday and what can we do to ensure that they are taking holiday. So you can then have that conversation with the manager. So it's really good to be able to have reports so that you can look at the different trends, and that could be the trends of all the employees on a whole, or it could be the trends of employees on an individual basis. So if there's someone who you're looking at in particularly, you can understand how many holidays that they've taken in a certain time frame as well. So it's really beneficial in that sense too. Now, usually these absent management systems also integrate with any payroll software as well. So it makes it easier for the payroll administrator to be able to reflect the different changes each month depending on holiday, sick leave, or paid leave, or parental and maternity leave, so that their employees' pay slips can be done in the right way. So they'll integrate the software so that everything is kind of running together. So it's just more easier for payroll to be able to make sure that the right amendments are put through each month. So the majority, I would say, of absence management systems are self-service systems in this day and age. So if somebody does want to take holiday, then they can do that themselves. So they can go into the system and request a holiday, and then if their manager approves that holiday, then it will be put through. And that's the same for any paid leave or any different other types of absences which need to be put in correctly. However, when it comes to sickness, and this is how my company do it, but it could be different for different organizations. When it comes to sickness, then the manager needs to put that through. So the employee actually doesn't have any kind of any access to put through any sickness, meaning they need to make sure that they tell management and they also tell HR by a specific time. So if you're sick for, let's say, between 1 to 5 days, then you can self-certify your sickness. So then you can ensure that you tell your manager and update your manager so then they can update the system for you. But if you're sick for longer than that, then usually you will require a fit note as well. And if you get a fit note from your doctor, then this needs to be sent across to HR, and we would then need to file that fit note away, and then ensure that it's updated correctly on the system. So if the manager hasn't been able to do that, the HR do have the rights to change everything on the system. So we can actually go in and do that on behalf of the manager if need be. So there are a few systems that you might have heard of or you might not have heard of, but are usually used when it comes to absence management. So these include ResourceLink, TeamSeer, Bright HR, Oracle, Workday, and also Sage. And you may come across these systems, but as I said, in different organizations, they'll be using different systems when it comes to their absence management system. But you may have heard of some of those names. So in terms of like the policies around sickness, there should be a set policy in your organization around the obligations of an employee when they are sick. So for example, you as a company, you may offer more than the statutory sick pay for an employee if they're there for a certain amount of time. So let's say they pass their probation, and once they pass their probation, they can then get full sick pay from the organization. Or it might just be that there might be a certain time frame where you're then allowed or eligible to have full pay if you're sick. But obviously it will depend on the policy, it depends on the company, but it's just important to kind of look out and understand what those policies and processes are in your own organization, so you're keeping up with those policies and you're ensuring that you're feeding the right information to any employees who ask about these different policies as well. So let's say that an employee is on long-term sickness, and this is usually if you're sick for longer than 4 weeks. It is important for us within HR and also management to make sure that they're checking in with that employee who's been sick sick for a long time. Because when it comes to returning to work, then there may need to be certain strategies that are put in place in order for that employee to return to work in the right way for them. So it might be a phased return. So it may take them a bit of time until they actually come back to full time. So, you know, it's all about liaising with that employee, having those conversations and understanding what is best for them based on their situation. Also, there may be other services available to employees when coming back from sick leave, such as occupational health. So occupational health cases are usually when a medical occupational health specialist will examine that employee before they come back to work, because there might need to be specific adjustments that are required for that employee to be able to work after they've come back from sick leave. So sometimes it is important that employees and employers go through this process just to make sure that everything is how it should be and what is needed for that employee for their specific case, because we need to make sure that employees are feeling comfortable when coming back to work after long-term sick cases. So that's also something to consider when it comes to sickness at the workplace. So there are also specific benefits that your company may offer which can also help employees who are on sickness. So different benefits can include group income protection, employee assistance program. So the employee assistance program has different services available to employees where they can seek any guidance or help with free information and resources to look at, but also there's guidance 24/7 where there's helplines that employees can actually call to get advice on certain situations. You may also have the critical illness benefit within your company where employees can actually utilize this if they've suffered from a critical illness and they're entitled to that benefit. And also you may also have any kind of healthcare benefits as well. So there might be services available to employees who are sick with these healthcare benefits that they have access to. So there's so many different aspects to understanding sickness in the workplace as a HR professional and as HR administrator, and you will usually be supporting potentially an HR advisor or business partner with this, because the business partners and HR advisors are usually the ones that have the connections with the employees specifically, and then the administrators will do the background checks and they will do the administration work associated to that sickness claim. So I hope that this has been very helpful for you when it comes to understanding sickness and absence management systems in the workplace. Please let me know if this has been helpful and if you've got any questions about it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.